All right. Here we go. We got Temple of Bloom Fresh Hop Collaboration Pale Ale. And this one is Varietal and Skookum, both out of Washington. Very kind of cool can here. Got the green vibe for fresh hop. Smells pretty good. Smells pretty fresh. So this is not an IPA, it's just a pale ale. That is pretty fucking good. And that could pass for an IPA. No doubt about it. Let's see what we got here. Kali Ma Sakti Day. I don't know, that sounds like some sort of like Omine. Like it sounds like some crazy shit like that. Temple of Bloom Pale Ale, 5% alcohol. Brewed with unkilned mosaic and freshly kilned citra from Carpenter Ranches. This is gonna be a winner. I can tell you that right fucking now. Mosaic, citra, you almost can't go wrong with those two. Mosaic, I like more. This is like big fruit, big citrus, and it's a pale ale at 5%. This is a fucking banger, dude. At 5%, this feels like it's swinging like around 7 or 8. Like it's just uppercut, uppercut. Good shit. Okay, we are going WSP Formula T Blackbeard D. And this one here is a pretty fucking good scent. To me, this is like a pirate that knows he's coming to dock. Like, he is gonna be fucking docking soon, hitting up the local fucking saloon, and he is gonna be looking for some poon. That was off the dome, I swear to God. That shit is pretty nice, actually. So, tobacco, cherry, vanilla, cloves, spices, patchouli. These are the exact notes. These are the exact notes from WSP's website. To me, it's warm, spicy, really spicy. Clove is definitely apparent for those of you that are like, I don't like bay rum, clove. Clove is definitely apparent. This one is spicy. It's warm and spicy and sweet. I actually really like it. I think this is definitely fitting of a pirate right here. Like I said, gonna dock soon, going to the local saloon, and looking for some poon. Game on, baby. Okay, I've been drinking, if you can't tell. It's one of those fresh hop nights. Like I said, fresh hop season, baby. Fresh hop season's like our Super Bowl right here in the Yakima Valley. Got it loaded up into the Lancaster. We're going to be using the Alpha Shaving in the Bougie Brush Bath. That's got the 26mm Gelousy knot bulb. I'll go ahead and ring that out for you bitch ass motherfuckers. Right there, you can see it's absolutely gelled from one side to another. Not a whole lot of funk left. Not a whole lot of funk at all. So let's get to lathering. I went to a new spot in town. I went to Old Faithful first, And I was planning on going to the new spot tomorrow, but I went to the new spot tonight. Couldn't help myself. So we got a new tap room in town. They got some pretty decent options. They didn't have one single thing that I haven't had before, which is kind of discouraging, but one thing I find about new tap rooms, new breweries, this sort of thing, new bars, is that they play it safe when they're opening as to attract and keep customers. If that makes sense. They're playing it safe. They're not coming out the gate with like highbrow, ultra, beer nerd shit. They're keeping it pretty simple in order to attract and sustain like a fan base. So I always give breweries and new tap rooms time to grow, and I think this one's gonna be no exception. They had a respectable beer list, but in all honesty, like, it's nothing I hadn't had before, and it was underwhelming. But they didn't do any worse than anyone else has done, if that makes any sense. This is like a trend I've noticed, and they all pretty much do the same thing. So, I've never used WSP's tallow. I've used the rustic before, which is the vegan. And I notice I'm adding like a ton of water to this. Like, I'm trying to get the soap off the walls and things like this, but I'm just like adding one dab of water after the next. I think we're finally arrived, but that took a fair bit of water to get it there. Alright. So listen. I know some of you motherfuckers are triggered and can't like muster the strength to pull your tongue out of the back of your throat and speak. I get it. Like, when CDB puts a stamp of approval and, like, I gotta be honest, on my last video, I didn't have one single person opposing me. So I can imagine from the outside looking in that you are motherfucking sourpussing it. Like, I get it, it must be hard. Knowing that you've spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on top-notch shit, supposedly. But the thing is that you don't have to disagree with me because you spent a lot of money. It's just unnecessary. You could take a long, hard look in the mirror and just decide that the facts are the facts, and realize that most soaps from artisan made offerings are more alike than they are different. I had some people message me and they tried to make their points, but honestly, they weren't validated. Like, people were trying to compare, like, top-notch bases, like Gentleman's Nod Cardinal, or First Line Shave 3.0, or Zingari Mansego, or Kaizen from Annie and the Club. And they were trying to compare those to things such as, like, Gillette Pure shaving cream, or Parasso, or Williams. But let's be honest, folks. I said in my video, artisan-made offerings. Because artisan-made offerings aren't being, like, cranked out in bulk. They're not being made in some, like, huge facility. They don't have hundreds and hundreds of employees. This is, I'm talking about mom and pop shop artisans. I got the Schick Golden 500, which is the goat injector. So these guys, they already obviously didn't watch the whole video, or they weren't listening. Because I said artisan-made, artisanal shaving soaps. So you're already wrong. Before you got your point across, in the header, in the, like, brief of your argument, you already are wrong. You fucked up before you started. But let's give you a little bit of leeway, because I am a humble, not really, but I'll give you a little bit of leeway. Parasso versus Kairos grooming department. There is gonna be a discernible difference in the lather appearance. And I say appearance because you're gonna know, probably without a shadow of a doubt, which one is Kairos and which one is Parasso. Because one of them is gonna, hold a lot more density. Kairos is gonna create something that is kind of voluminous and dense, where Parasso isn't. And at this point you're thinking, game over. He's backtracking, he's backpedaling. All we gotta do now is fucking blow in his direction, and this fucking loser is gonna fall over. Wrong. Because whereas the appearance is different, the fucking performance is not gonna be far off. I stick to my guns in saying that as above, so below. The motherfucking top tier, whatever you can think of, whatever the fuck you can muster, the top tier offerings are more alike to the lower, air quote, lower tier offerings, inexpensive offerings, budget offerings, whatever the fuck you want to deem them, to make you feel, like like you're on the higher echelon. whatever the fuck you want to say. Listen. As above, so below. It is what the fuck it is, man. The performance-wise, they're gonna get you to the same fucking place. I have not been in this game for a fucking decade. And the sad thing is that I've came to this realization and lived with it for longer than most of these folks have been in this hobby or lived with the lie, that is like more expensive, more hyped items are just by default better. It's just not fucking true. And we are more or less tearing the fucking rafters down and starting from scratch. I didn't have a single person disagree with me. Now, I don't have thousands of viewers, but I have folks that I really respect. Folks that have been in this game longer than me that agree with me. Listen. This shit ain't about me. The thing is that I just want people to realize, and this is what like 60% of my comments were when I got a generic response. I just want people to realize, as above, so below. Basically, these soaps, meaning artisanal soaps, are more alike than they are different. The biggest difference between any two is the price point. Sorry and shit. I'm telling you, sorry and shit. You know what I mean? I know that's gonna fucking make your fucking face pucker, but it is what it is. They're more alike than they are different. They're all shaving soap. They all have slickness. They all have a degree of perceived protection. And they all have a degree of post-shave. Now, I also got arguments about post-shave. A shaving soap is never going to be the place you look for post-shave, period. If you're looking for post-shave, get a post-shave product, period. So, I don't know. It's a bit redundant. But if you don't get it by now, you may never. You're in a deep state of denial. But all it is, the whole thing, is it's not to trash more expensive bases or more hyped bases, more beloved bases. That was never my intention, to trash these things. It was more about shining light on the razor sharp line between upper echelon and lower tier. If there is such a thing, there's a razor sharp difference between the two. That's the only thing that I was trying to get across with as above, so below. I could honestly give a singular fuck less if people disagree with me. Like, I want people to be honest and give their honest opinions, because I'd like to know if you disagree with me. But at the end of the day, I haven't heard a compelling argument yet. Like I said, I'm not the most experienced wet shaver in the world. Got a few years under my belt. One thing that people fail to recognize when they see the beard is that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I was shaving before I had a beard. Wet shaving. People don't know that, or I've told them and they don't believe it. But I was wet shaving before the beard. I'll probably be wet shaving after the beard. The beard is not what defines me. Okay? You know who the fuck I am. Ask about me. This WSP tallow was good shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't. This WSP tallow was good shit. And the Blackbeard scent was good shit too. I got this shit from my buddy Paul, Leather Me Whiskers. He had a skin irritation reaction to it. I did not. I did not feel one single bit of irritation the whole time it was on my face. It was good. No problems there. Very nice. I'm going to finish off with some Storybook Soapworks Hook. Completely different fragrance. I've already covered it. They have a decent splash. It's got some decent post-shave qualities. Different fragrance. But it'll get the job done. I'm going to bed directly after this. After I finish my beer and wind down. Listen. I'm not trying to trigger folks. But the fact of the matter is that you don't come here to hear what you want to hear. I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't put a nipple on your beer glass. You're gonna fucking hear what I have to say or leave before you hear what I have to say. I just am trying to tell you what I wish somebody would have told me. All there is to know is that these shaving soaps are more alike than they are different. And the major difference between them is the price point. That's how it is, in my opinion. You're not going to hear me say who's the best soap in the fucking game, who's the king, who's the queen. You're not going to hear it. I have my favorites, but it has nothing to do with performance. It's just the way it is. Sorry and shit. Cheers, guys. I hope my drunken rant granted you some sort of entertainment. I had a great fucking shave with the Formula T Blackbeard. Thank you, Captain. I finished off with some Storybook Soapworks Hook. Smells better than Blackbeard in my opinion. But they're both good. They're both good. I used the Schick Golden 500, which is the GOAT Injector. My favorite razor in my whole den. Straight razors, DEs, SEs, out of everything. That's my favorite fucking razor right there. I use the Alpha Outlaw handle with the AP Shave Co. Gelousy knot. I'm digging it. I really am digging it. And my Lancaster Razorworks bowl. I had the Lancaster Razorworks towel, the Bougie brush bath. I had a Varietal Skookum collab. All these things. Cheers. I've had too much to drink tonight.